I'm Associate Pastor Benji Lillian of the City on a Hill Church. Faith and loyalty go hand in hand. We're going to look at 2 Chronicles chapter 16. This really is about the whole chapter. I'm just going to read a few parts of it, beginning in verse 1. In the 36th year of the reign of Asa, Baasha, king of Israel, came up against Judah and built Ramah, that he might let none go out or come into Asa, king of Judah. Then Asa brought silver and gold from the treasuries of the house of the Lord and of the king's house, and sent to Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, who dwelt in Damascus, saying, Let there be a treaty between you and me, as there was between my father and your father. Here I have sent you silver and gold. Come, break your treaty with Baasha, king of Israel, so that he will withdraw from me. And the story goes on to say that Ben-Hadad listened to King Asa, and Baasha stopped building Ramah. So technically, what King Asa tried to do worked. We go down to verse 7, it says, And at that time Hanani the seer came to Asa, king of Judah, and said to him, Because you have relied on the king of Syria and have not relied on the Lord your God, therefore the army of the king of Syria has escaped from your hand. Were the Ethiopians and the Lubim not a huge army with very many chariots and horsemen? Yet because you relied on the Lord, he delivered them into your hand. For the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth to show himself strong on behalf of those whose heart is loyal to him. In this you've done foolishly, therefore from now on you shall have wars. Just a few years later, King Asa was diseased in his feet and still did not rely on the Lord, but sought the physicians and died after reigning in Judah for 41 years. King Asa is noted in the Bible to have been a good king who relied on God for many things, including a battle against the Ethiopians and the Lubim, like were mentioned in verse 8. First, this story is a depiction of how even one who pleases the Lord can fall short when he begins relying on other things. And in short, this story is about a lack of faith. But it's also about loyalty. Asa feared the building of Ramah and allowed that, in place of faith, to drive his decision to take treasures from the house of the Lord, that was his first mistake, and send them to the king of Syria to form a treaty. Granted, it technically worked. His enemies stopped building Ramah, but they escaped from his hand, contrary to the Ethiopians and the Lubim being delivered into his hand. Hanani the seer spoke to Asa of his foolishness, and before claiming the ongoing wars he would have for the rest of his life, he spoke of how God is endlessly searching the earth for people whose hearts are loyal to him, like I said in verse 9. Faith is a testament to loyalty. Where the Bible says without faith it is impossible to please God, you can take that verse along with verse 9 and say that it also is impossible to please God without loyalty. Because Asa ultimately did not rely on God to take care of his situation, even though he loved and believed in God, it was shown that he never had it in his heart to put God first in everything, which allowed fear to take over his judgment. Even on his deathbed, Asa relied on doctors as opposed to God. Faith in God for a period of time does not give you sanction from God to act on your own understanding later on. That's very important. He expects ongoing loyalty all the time for every situation, choosing faith over fear. In the Bible, and even in this church, you have countless stories and testimonies of people who cannot deny that faith and loyalty to God always has and always will yield results. God bless you.